So let's do a get ready with me while I talk about Thai beauty. So I went to Thailand, and you know how Thailand is really hot. I went to Bangkok for those that do not know. But you know how it's like really hot there and people sweat and everything? My mom and I, we were sweating like a pig, but everyone else, like the beauty there is like chef's kiss and the pigmentation and everything is so beautiful and everything, but everyone's like makeup was not like creasing, nothing was falling off, while my mom and I's were like literally melting. So we were like, oh my god, what are these girlies like putting onto their skin? And we went to like an Even Boy. I think it's the one located in the one that's downstairs from Big C, right across from Central World. And you know, we saw one of the like beauty assistants there, and we were like, oh my god, so could you recommend us like some type of like beauty product that'll help our like makeup stay, blah blah blah. No, actually we didn't actually go up to her at first. Instead what we did was we were looking for that powder, you know, that Citron powder, you know, this one that's like viral and every Thai girly uses it. Well, we were looking at this and she was explaining to us how it's like the number one in Thailand and how everyone uses it, blah blah blah. And apparently there are like three different versions of it, and we were like, you know, and we bought all three versions, of course. And then I guess she was like, oh, these girlies, like, you know, they're interested. And she was like, do you want me to recommend a primer? And I was like, oh, it's okay. Because, you know, I thought she was going to just sell me stuff. But I was like, no, it's okay. But then my mom was like, no, listen, let's just see, and we'll see what they're going to recommend. And she recommended me this, and it's this. It's the Herbalist Bare Skin Protector, and it's an SPF, but it also is a like foundation primer as well, and it's like waterproof and it goes onto your skin perfectly. I actually have it on right now, but as you can see, it goes on perfectly. And she literally tested it onto her like hand and arm, like compared to another sunscreen, which was the one that my husband Jackson is promoting. And she showed us like the difference, and she literally sprayed water, and this was so freaking waterproof. So I was like, oh my god, I'm sold. I need to buy that. And then I did buy it, and oh my god, my makeup has looked so flawless ever since. And then like as you can see, it looks very greasy at first, but that is not grease at all. It's literally like the moisture hydration. It's the hydration. And then she recommended me the foundation from Citrend, which is this brand. I cannot pronounce this. Strichand. And we bought both, and I mix it up, and it works like a charm. Like, it is so good. And I have two different shades because I couldn't really find my shade, so, and it's okay, I mix all of my stuff anyways. And this is 130 natural, and this is in 110, no, N10 natural. Basically it's the same natural, but just different shades, I guess. And what I do is I put this on like so. You need to have like literal like thin layers, you know how it works, girlies. And I take the sponge. So usually I take a wet sponge, but right now I'm too lazy to go and wet a sponge, so instead I'm just going to take this and go all over. And do you see that? With the foundation and the primer, it looks like skin, basically. So this is my skin without, and this is with, and do you see, like, it literally covers all of, like, my, like, I know I have good skin and everything, but, like, do you see that? It covers all of, like, the, dark spots, I guess, and, like, a bit of, like, the imperfections, basically. And I'm gonna only do half of my face just to show you a difference, and I also, too, want to see, because my hotel didn't have good lighting and I couldn't film it there. So, like, do you see that? It looks flawless, doesn't it? And they said to use it with the powder as well, and your makeup will last all day and it won't melt. And it literally did that. So I was like, oh, no wonder the Thai girlies are wearing all of this makeup in this heat without any creasing, without anything melting off. It's all because of the primer, and it's all because of their like SPF and their like foundation and everything. So do you see that? This is part with it and without. Like, I know I have good skin, but I sound like a pick-me, but do you see the difference? It looks just like skin, but better, basically. So, look at this. Like, it looks so flawless. No creasing, and it doesn't look dry at all. And it has full coverage. I mean, excuse me. Why have I been, like, spending, like, thousands of dollars on makeup when all I could do was just ask a sales assistant at Thailand, at Even Boy, in which I've actually been going to, like, forever. Like, this is, like, my, 7th visit to Thailand, and I just found out, like, what? And turns out she's also an Agase as well, so oh my god. No wonder she has great taste. And she was explaining about, like, the other, like, sunscreen that my future husband is, the ambassador of. And I was like, oh, do you know this brand? And I was like, oh, that's my husband. And she was, like, laughing. And it turns out she's an Agase, which is, like, the fandom name of GOT7. And she was like, oh my god, haha. And then we bonded, basically. And now we're besties. So, but I didn't get her name. Rude of me. Why did I do that? But yeah, look at my skin, right? It looks flawless. It looks beautiful. I love it. And just tap it in. Like, do you see that magic? Right? So I do need to go in with a concealer though. So I'll be back with the powder part. Now that I've used the concealer, I am going to set with the Richland powder. And I actually do go ham with powder. They say to not use too much, but I need to. I cannot have the stickiness onto my face because it will make me so freaking angry. And there are actually 3 different versions of this, and there is the original one, and this is actually the more, like, expensive one. This is the more high-end one, and there's apparently a black version as well. And I think the more expensive it is, the more, like, fine it is, because I saw, like, the differences, and it looks like the other ones are so much more thinner and so much more finer, but just the original will do, I guess. And I think the price difference was around, like, 30-40 baht between each, like, powder. And there's also a pressed powder as well. And I did use the pressed powder before in the past. However, I didn't really like it, hence why I didn't really have high hopes for this brand. And I was like, it's mid. But turns out I was using the wrong type, and the translucent powder is so much better than the pressed powder. So, but if you are a pressed powder girly, then I would say use that. So, wow, do you see my skin? It is beautiful right now, isn't it? Oh my god. I'm in love. Love it.